NBC News broke the story today of the over 5,000 pro-Trump Twitter bots suspected of pushing a Russiagate hoax narrative. This was shortly after the Mueller report came out. Our own Ben Collins writes it this way, quote, "These bots, however, did not appear to come from Russia. Instead, the bots had ties to a social media operation that previously pushed messages backing the government of Saudi Arabia and were connected to a person who claimed to be a private social media consultant. We should note it's not clear whether these fake accounts had any official connections to the Saudi government." So back with us on the broadcast tonight is NBC News reporter Ben Collins. While not a person with a dark personality, his job is to watch the darkest corners of the internet for us and keep us apprised. First of all, I asked you to bring bot examples because we always do stories like this, and the folks who are users of social media don't always know what we're talking about. So show us a bot.
Right. So they repeatedly said the same sentence over and over again.
That's bad.
That's usually a good tip, right? And it wasn't even their sentence. They stole it from a right-wing Twitter account.
So
and
that's it.
Yeah, you can see it there. You know, they always talked about, you know, conspiracy extremists or Russia. They called it the Russiagate hoax over and over again in these tweets. And they compared the mainstream media to Alex Jones. That was their big thing.
Oh, boy. So you can look at that verbiage and you know it's not someone savvy. On the sophistication scale, it's down here. Why someone with a Saudi background? What are they looking to do?
So, first of all, the point of this whole thing, it's not just to get one single tweet out there. It's not to look particularly official. In fact, they looked horrible. They were using stock photos with the watermark over their faces as their profile pictures.
You just can't do that.
Right, exactly. Anybody would figure that out, right? The point was to get the volume of tweets up. So when the Twitter algorithm looked for stuff to trend, it would say Russiagate hoax instead of, you know, the Mueller report. All of these were activated 3 months after they came up. So they existed for 3 months, didn't do anything. And then the hours after the Mueller report came, these came up and started to say this was some sort of hoax.
Corollary, how good was the Russian effort during 2016 when they were looking to pick off, set groups against each other in this country, pick off votes in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, whatever? This was
so, like, the Russians were so much better at this. And we're better at finding the Russians now. But this is some D-grade stuff, I would say. Like, they are just getting into this sort of thing. And that's the thing. Like, like you said, you can't tie this directly back to the Saudi government. This was tied back to a specific Twitter account called Arabian Veritas, which was supposed to spread the truth about Saudi Arabia. Oh, they renamed their whole operation to this thing called the Globus, which is supposed to be like a news operation, last week, and it coincided with this whole botnet happening.
Why are we an easy mark? Is it the cost of good intentions that we're basically good people?
Honestly, that's the point of this thing, is to show the fissures in a really open democracy, right? We're not going to, like, after the New Zealand shooting, for example, they shut down all these websites. The government did. They shut them down. You know, in Sri Lanka, they shut down Facebook and Snapchat and all these things. So we're not going to do that. And these places understand this. They understand, you know, the Russians try to find these holes in the best parts of our democracy and exploit the worst parts of our id, the worst parts of what makes us us. And it's devastating and terrible, but all we got to do societally is learn about this and figure out, it's called media literacy. That's what we got to do from kids to everybody else on up.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.